Hey guys, so here's a little update about what I've been going through. So as you can see, I have shingles currently on my face, on the left side of my face. I'm not sure if it's very obvious in this light, but this is basically how I look like right now on the left side of my face. You can see the blisters here and on the chin. There's some under the chin as well, some on the top of my head here, on top of my ear and inside my ear as well. So that hasn't been pleasant. What is shingles? How did this started? Oh my gosh, like it's been a really rough 1 week, past 1 week, and I don't even know where to begin. So it really started with a toothache that I felt on Monday night. So that was last Monday. Today is Tuesday. So exactly a week ago. Yes, it started with a toothache, and it was right before bed. I remember I was in bed and I was telling Dylan that my tooth really hurts. And then it led to a really sharp jaw pain, and from there I just went to bed because like I was hoping, hopefully it'll go away. I used Sensodyne to brush my teeth, hopefully it will help. And I woke up the next morning on Tuesday, and I woke up with a really bad pain on the whole left side of my head. And from there I just knew, okay, I need to get this checked up. So we went to a dentist during my lunch break. And if you don't already know, I'm currently 6.5 months pregnant, or more than a half. I'll be hitting my 7 months next week, so that's pretty crazy. But anyways, we went to the dentist. They wanted to take an x-ray, but they couldn't because I'm pregnant. So they relied on an x-ray that I took in June 2021 last year, where there was a tooth which had infection underneath from the x-ray. And because it was infected, the nerves in that tooth pretty much died apparently. So yeah, I mean, when I took the x-ray last year, it didn't hurt at all, the tooth. And they were knocking it and things like that. There was like just no feeling at all. So I was just like, why go through a root canal if it's not causing me pain? So I just left it. And this round, when we actually did go to the dentist, that was the tooth that was hurting. So based on the x-ray in June 2021, they were like, okay, I think we should do a root canal on that tooth. So we're gonna drill a hole in your tooth, and then we're going to flush out the infection and bacteria, do some cleaning in there, insert some medication for the infection, and then we'll seal it with a permanent seal. And after that, that was Dylan passing by if you saw a shadow. But anyways, they said that they will put some medication, and then they will seal it with a permanent seal, or rather a temporary permanent seal. I don't know what they call it, but it's basically a seal that will last until I give birth. And after I give birth, they will complete the root canal procedure by upsizing the root canal if they need to, and insert some things in there so that the tooth is not hollow. Then they will seal it, and then they will crown the tooth. So that's the second half of the root canal. But basically the main thing that I did that day was to drill a hole, and they just took out stuff that they needed to take out from the tooth, insert medication, and then they sealed it. So it was fairly straightforward procedure. I didn't get any injection to my gums because they said like your nerves are dead, so you shouldn't need an injection. It was a little painful, and I did feel discomfort, but it wasn't like unbearable. Maybe my pain threshold level is high. I don't know. Maybe was I crazy to get a root canal without an injection? I don't know. But yeah, that was that. I thought, okay, great, problem solved. Just another tooth issue. Went back, and then my eardrum on the left side started ringing, and that was when I was like, oh gosh, is this normal? But you know, they said that because it's the tooth at the bottom here, so because it's the tooth at the bottom, that's the thing, I didn't know any of this because the first dentist that I went to didn't really explain everything properly. It was a very quick in and out kind of situation, like, oh okay, you got this, blah blah blah, let's do root canal, da da da, done, see you next week for a follow-up checkup, just like that, you know. So yeah, crazy me, went back to work after doing root canal. It was a crazy busy day at work, so yeah, I went back to work and I was like, yeah, I'm in pain, I can't talk, but you know what, I'm just gonna soldier on for the next half of the day, and that's what I did. So then I started feeling ringing in my eardrums at night, and the next day I actually woke up with sensitivity to light. So as soon as I walked into the bathroom, my left eye hit some light, and oh, the sharp pain I felt in my entire head on the left side. So everything's just localized to the left side of my face and my head, and that was the point where I was just like, gosh, something is wrong with me, and I didn't know what, and that was the scary part. So yeah, light hit my eye, had this whole sharp pain in my entire left side of my head and my face, and from there I actually just was in so much pain in my eardrum, my jaw, left side of head, especially at the temple here, and I just knew something was off. The pressure I felt here and my ear and here at the back was so intense that I actually cried. And I went to Dylan. I remember going to Dylan in the morning and I'm like, this is what I'm feeling, I think it's not normal, I think we should go get it checked. And I started tearing, like out of nowhere. And I don't really tear easily when it comes to pain or when I'm not feeling well, but when I actually did tear, I think that's when Dylan was like, oh crap, this is serious, you know. So we spent the entire morning trying to find out what's wrong with me. So we spoke with quite a few friends and family who were in different professions, like dentists, doctors in different practice areas, telling them my symptoms. And because I was in so much pain, I didn't want to go to a wrong doctor or a wrong place only to be turned away and be like, I don't think I'm the right person for you to see, you should go see someone else. So that's when I was just like, oh, that the entire process was just painful, you know, trying to find out what's wrong, who should we see, and things like that. Also because I'm pregnant, like, do we go see an OBGYN? Do we go back to see the dentist that I saw? Do we see another dentist? Do we see a normal GP? Do we see an ENT specialist because of my ear and my jaw pain? Do we see like a neurosurgeon because of the sensitivity of light that I felt to my head? You know, that those were all like really scary things to have felt, and the pressure especially. And unfortunately, like, you know, because none of them could examine me physically, we had very differing opinions as to who we should see. So in the end, we decided to just contact the dentist I saw yesterday, the day before that. And yeah, so we spoke to the dentist, told her my symptoms, and she's like, oh gosh, this sounds serious. I'm afraid that it'll be limited for me, like the instruments I have is limited to check exactly what's wrong with you, so I'm gonna write you a referral letter to go see a specialist in the hospital. So we got the referral letter and we called the hospital, and they were like, oh, I'm sorry, everything's by appointment basis only, we can't see you even if you have a referral letter. and we even said like, what if it was an emergency, like could we just show up at the emergency, because like Dylan was like, my wife is in a lot of pain, and they're like, oh no, so sorry, like anything like teeth related and stuff like that, you just have to like, you know um by appointment basis only. We are full today, we can only see you on Friday. At that day, on that day was a Wednesday. So I was like in so much pain. I was like, there is no way I'm waiting to Friday to get this sorted. And then we called so many other local clinics nearby, and in the end we finally got to see a dentist in a local clinic in Shah Alam. And he basically removed the seal. Oh gosh, I remember when I was on the chair and he asked me what's wrong, what's happening. I was just explaining it to him, and at that point I just like burst out in tears, and I was talking and crying at the same time, and I was just in so much pain as well. And I couldn't even finish what I was trying to say, so I asked Dylan if he could just explain everything I'm going through and everything I've been through so far. And that was the point where the doctor was like, okay, you know what, let me remove that permanent seal to relieve the pressure that might be under your tooth, causing all this pressure. And he explained really nicely that like, because it's a tooth at the bottom, it's all connected. If it's on the top, like it's different, like every tooth has a different like nerve branch, but if it's at the bottom, then it's just all connected. So if one is affected at the bottom, then like the whole thing is like affected, the nerve. So maybe that's why I'm feeling like this entire pressure here. So he removed that seal, and it did relieve the pressure that I was feeling here. So he did cleaning again, and he was like, oh gosh, there's still so much to clean. And so that really makes us question, like, did the dentist the day before not do a good job, and is this why I'm feeling all this pain? But we're just like thankful that we got to see this second dentist who knew what he was doing. And he was cleaning it, and he was like, okay, because you're in so much pain, we're going to insert a different type of medication which has a little bit of antibiotics, and then we'll just see how that goes from there. For the first root canal I didn't get any medication whatsoever. For the second dentist that I saw, he gave me some paracetamol. I didn't get any antibiotics because they're like, you're pregnant and we want to, as far as we can, we want to avoid you being on antibiotics. So yeah, that was basically it. And I think the difficult part is that because I'm pregnant, they can't do any x-ray, they can't have clear visibility on exactly what's happening in there. So yeah, basically everything was just relied on how I was feeling there and then, and the x-ray in June. So we did that, and the pressure was relieved, but I was still feeling discomfort here, my ear, my jaw, and I was having waves of sensitivity to the front teeth here. And that was when like he said like, okay, you just go back, just go rest, and take Panadol when you need to, and let's see how it goes. So yeah, that happened. And then I was still in pain that day, but I was like, okay, you know what, maybe it's because I just went through a second partial root canal and I'm still recovering from whatever infection there was. He said like the pressure was so intense because it's under the tooth, and it's like basically the pressure is expanding the bone, the jawbone, and everything. So that's why it was so painful, and it had nowhere to go. So he now placed a temporary seal on top, so if the pressure is really too much, it will pop off, and it won't cause me that amount of discomfort that I was feeling. So from there, the next morning on Thursday, I woke up and another new thing appeared. I had half of my lip was swollen. It didn't look super swollen just yet. I took pictures of like how I looked in the first day, second day, third day, and all that, but it didn't look as swollen. But it felt like from here onwards, it just felt numb and it was swollen. And from there I was just like, oh my gosh, what is happening to me, you know? And being almost 7 months pregnant, like everything that was just happening was just so concerning to me, because you know, I constantly think about Clara. Is she okay in there? Is you know, is anything wrong? You know, is she feeling like whatever I'm feeling and things like that? So it was a really really tough week. So I woke up with this side swollen, and when I tapped on my chin on the left side, it just felt like pins and needles. It was like a tingling feeling. And you know, the left side of my head was still like painful, and I was in a lot of discomfort. On Thursday I went to see an OBGYN just to check up on Clara to see if everything's okay. Thankfully her heartbeat was strong and everything is okay with her. I also told the doctor about this numbness in my lip, how it's swollen. She checked the lymph nodes and stuff like that, and she's like, you know what, maybe you're just allergic to the medication the second dentist gave you, or maybe you're just still recovering from the second partial root canal, so just go back, rest, and see how it goes. But I knew something was definitely wrong. Like, there is no way that you can just wake up and have the whole left side of your mouth and lip and tongue feel numb and swollen and there's nothing wrong with it. So, but I did think, okay, maybe I might be allergic to the medication. So you can see, like, there was a ton of guesswork in this entire process, and it was just infuriating because it's just horrible not knowing what's wrong with you, and while you're in so much pain and so much discomfort. So long story short, I went back, rested like what they said was on MC. The next day I woke up and I had yellow blisters on my lips and on my chin, and I still felt that intense pressure. My ear felt like it was gonna pop. I felt horrible. I felt so horrible, and I went to see the Shalom dentist again because I called him and I was like, this is what's happening, and he's like, come and see me. Went to see him and he checked, there was blisters in my mouth and here, and he basically did a third partial root canal to clean out the stuff. This time he inserted a different type of medication which didn't have antibiotics, because he thought, okay, maybe I was allergic and that's why I was having all these reactions. But in the end, he was like, after he did that whole thing, he's like, I think you should really get yourself checked if you have shingles, because everything that you're explaining to me, the symptoms, the pain, the blisters, it looks like you might have shingles. And at that point I was just like, oh gosh, what now? Like, every time there seems to be like a new thing happening. So yeah, I just went to see a GP after that, and sure enough I got diagnosed, and I was diagnosed with shingles. And the dentist, before I even went to see the GP, explained to me, your body has been through a lot of stress, you know, physical stress because of the pain and the infection, and you're pregnant, so your immune system is low. So unfortunately, this might have triggered the varicella zoster virus, which is a virus that stays dormant in your nerve after you've gotten chickenpox when you were young. So you can't catch shingles from people. You can catch chickenpox, but once you've got chickenpox, this varicella zoster virus stays in your nerve, and from there it just stays inactive. But it can be triggered by low immune system, stress, and unfortunately those are the things that I was going through, and it got triggered. So I was diagnosed with shingles. I was placed on an antiviral medication, acyclovir. It's 5 times a day, 7 days. So I'm currently on day, what day am I on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm on day 5 at the moment. They said by day 5 I should be improving, so I have been improving, because this was yellow before this on my lips. Everything was really inflamed. It was bad, but it's been working, thankfully. I still feel the pressure and the nerve pain. It's really intense, but I'm just thankful that I'm starting to see external improvements. So I've been placed on aciclovir. It's 5 times a day. Even if I have to wake up in the middle of the night to take it, I have to wake up to eat and then take the medication. So that hasn't been fun. I literally had to set a lot of alarms on my phone to remind me to take the medication, to remind me to take this 30 minutes. This is silver oxygen complex. This is another thing that was recommended to me by my sister-in-law, who is a pharmacist. So this silver oxygen complex is something that I'm taking 30 minutes before food. Then I'll have food, and then after that I'll have this medication. And on top of that, I have also been applying this aciclovir cream to the rashes and blisters. So these are the main things that I've been having. And on top of that, because I'm pregnant, I have a ton of supplements that I have to take as well. So it's been really exhausting waking up and like trying to remember every single medication that I have to take, every single supplement I have to take at different times. They also don't recommend taking the medication and the supplements together. So it's literally like a full day of just medicine supplement. And on Friday, on Saturday was the worst. The nerve pain that I felt was so intense. It was so bad that I felt like this lymph node here was so swollen. I felt like I was choking, and the eardrum pain was so bad. The pressure was so bad that I felt like my head was gonna explode. I think the main pain that I felt from this shingles on my face is because it affected the trigeminal nerve. So it affects, you know, my brain, my head, my ear, my jaw, my neck, you know. So, and even yesterday I felt like my entire left arm was pain and sensitive to wind, to water, to touch. So it's been a lot. It's been extremely exhausting, and it's been extremely painful. So I'm on my 5th day now. I am thankful that I'm starting to see improvements, but I can tell you it's not been a walk in the park. It's been extremely exhausting. I've been on medical leave since Wednesday last week, so I'm hoping to go back to work tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be okay enough to work. The problem is because it's a nerve thing, it affects the head, so it makes it really hard to concentrate or to do anything at all. All I've been doing is really just taking medicine, sleeping, and that's really been my routine in the past 1 week. So I really want to just say thank you to my Chu family. You know, they've been so supportive throughout this entire time. They've been making me juices, they've been making me blended kampong chicken with vegetables and other types of combinations, just to make sure that baby Clara and I are getting the nutrition we need during this pregnancy and during this recovery period. Because my lips, my jaw hurts so much that I've been on a liquid diet, and I couldn't at all open my mouth to eat solid foods until today. So I've been just drinking through a straw, drinking my food through a straw, and trying to get vegetables in through juices, fruits through juices, and even chicken and stuff through juices as well, through soups, which I have to feed through a straw. So that hasn't been fun. But I'm really thankful for the support that they've been giving me, the love and support. You know, they've been sending juices and food on a daily basis since then, and I'm really grateful for that. You know, having to take so many medications in a day, gosh, without having all this like food that they've been sending, it would have been so hard, because there's so many things I can't eat at right now, because I can't eat white flour stuff. I can't eat a lot of things that might aggravate this and make it worse. So yeah, been really thankful. Thank you so much, you guys. Love you guys so much. Thank you also to Yap family, who sent some fruits and juices over, even though you guys are like everywhere right now. not in KL. And to, of course, Eunice, thank you so much for being there to just guide me on the nutritions. And she actually recommended Nutrient Optimum, which I've been taking. It's a milk, which served as a meal replacement when I couldn't eat solids. So I've been, basically everything has been liquid, but I've been mixing those things together to try and get the nutritions I need for recovery and for this pregnancy. And also Jenning, thank you so much. She's been checking on me every day, and also to recommend these things. She actually drove all the way to my house after a long day of work just to send this to me, and I'm really thankful for that. So yeah, all in all, that has been my journey so far. It hasn't been pleasant, but all in all, I've been really thankful for the love and support of family and friends. Like Charles, he also sent some immunity packs over, and I'm just really thankful for the love that we've been receiving. Steph, she cooked me mushroom soup yesterday, sent it over at like 10 p.m. Oh my gosh, like yeah, I can actually smile a bit now. It still hurts when I smile, but I'm just my heart is full, and I'm thankful for the prayers and messages that everyone has been sending. It's definitely not been an easy journey, and this has definitely been one of the most trying times I've ever felt in my life. Having 3 partial root canals, being pregnant at 6 months plus, and having shingles all at the same time. It's been really hard, but all in all, I'm just really, really, really thankful for the love and support that I've been blessed with. And most of all, I'm so happy that I didn't have to go through it alone. I'm so happy that I had my husband by my side this entire time, and it's just made all the difference in the world having someone so supportive to go through it with. So yeah, if you're going through something difficult like I was, I hope this video encourages you to know that you can get through it, you can get past it, and that you'll be alright. I'm on the road to recovery, and I hope that you are too. Take care.